Good question. I actually went into college as a psychology major, and after the first year, I was like, maybe this isn't what I want to do for the rest of my life, and I became undecided. And a couple of my friends had a show on the student radio station and asked me to join, and I had played sports my whole life. So it was kind of really simple for me to come in and talk about sports with them, and I really enjoyed it. So I applied to School of Communications, took a test, and then it's kind of been, ever since then, I just have really fallen in love with it because I played sports forever, and I decided not to play sports in college. Once I got back into talking about it and being around it all the time, I was just like, this is really what I'm passionate about. This is what I want to do. Well, because I didn't exactly know what I wanted to do, and I played sports my whole life. That's all I really knew. But I also like to help people. So when I was looking through with my guidance counselor, like what I wanted to major in, I was like, I could be a psychologist, help people out, give advice, because it's kind of what I like to do anyways, whether it be with my friends or my family, just kind of be a person that people can come to about anything and talk freely and not be judged. So I was like, I can probably do this. But then I just realized that I did a clinic actually, and I was just like, I don't think I have enough in me to help these people and then go home and like not think about it. I would just like drown in everybody else's things, and I think you really have to have a state of mind where you're helping these people and you have to know that you can't bring their problems home additional to your problems, or you're going to be the one with the biggest issue. So I didn't think it was going to be best for me. So I wanted to come to California for college, but I am the youngest of 3 kids and the only girl, and my parents were like, you are not going that far, and I'm actually the first to go to college. So they're like, let's stay on the East Coast. They knew I was going to leave Connecticut, but they're like, let's try to stay on the East Coast. And so I applied pretty much everywhere along the East Coast, from Maryland down to Florida. And I ended up going to Howard. My cousin Corbin came with me. We kind of just decided like last minute we were both going to go there. And I was like, after I graduate, I'm going to go to California. That's what I'm going to do. And my other cousin Asia, she's 2 years older than me, so she came out here first, and I had visited probably like twice a year for like 4 years. And I was like, you know what? I liked the job that I had after college. It was pretty much doing exactly what I wanted to do, basketball reporting, doing live events. But I was like, you know what? That's where I want to be. I'm just gonna do it. So I quit my job, and obviously I did it very, very nicely. I didn't just like up and leave on one day, but I put in my time, and I told them what the issue was, and I came out here and just try to make it work every day. Well, from Connecticut, it's a lot different. I'm from a small town called Milford, and it's just very suburban. And then I moved to DC, and I was in the middle of the city. I mean, Howard is literally in the middle of it. And opposed to DC, though, I think DC is more of like a smaller New York. That's kind of how I always adjusted to it. And here is nothing like any of that. I mean, it's just completely different. The people are different, the vibe is different, the way people move is a lot more laid back than the East Coast. And it's just really different. Like, I can't give it more of a description than that, because the weather is always so nice over here, and everybody is just really chill. And on the East Coast, it's more like you can wake up and it be raining, and the next day it's 90 degrees. And that kind of changes people's moods. People are always in a rush. So that's just the biggest thing, just the people and the environment altogether. That is such a good question, because my 15-year-old self had no idea that I would be where I am right now. I would say to my 15-year-old self to not worry about the little things, and really just try to figure out what you love to do. Because like I said, I went into college like, I like to help people, let's do psychology. And I also kind of came out of high school just knowing, like, my parents were always like, after high school comes college, and I just always knew that. It wasn't really an option for me, not that I didn't want to go, but it was just like, that's the next step. But maybe in high school being more involved in knowing what I was gonna do for my career. And not all the time you can figure that out, but even just being curious about it, because I played sports my whole life and I was like, I'm gonna play basketball the rest of my life. And then when I became a senior, I was like, maybe I don't want to play basketball anymore. Like, this has been the only thing that I've done. And now I wanted to figure out what I wanted to do, and I had 6 months, 6 to 9 months to like figure it out. So definitely tell myself to don't sweat the small stuff and be more focused on your future.
Thank you for watching A Wise Way. Subscribe to stay updated, share to pass the knowledge, or view our other videos on the left.